We have started. Here we are.
Well, it is 7:01, and it's the almost the end of the third week in September, and we're almost encroaching October. Fall starts tomorrow or the next day. I think it's Thursday.
The 21st or the 22nd, yeah.
So it's coming up.
Towards the end of the week, we've got fall that's coming up.
All the decorations are going to come out.
Man, this is starting to creep out of the woodwork. So we got we have a great night planned for you guys. We've got tons of fantastic topics to talk about. We have a fantastic producer behind the helm looking up stuff for us. Dudes like us, I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Jeff. And we have a guest.
We do.
Special guest.
Special guest.
Thank you.
Special.
I'm Ryan.
Oh.
There you go. Ooh.
Ryan.
You know, in the green room, Paul brought up the discussion how many times your parents walked in on you when you were masturbating.
Wow.
And we all said it never happened, and Paul was like, it's continual, even to this day.
Hold on now.
Oh, man, we're going to open up shaming
That
Paul?
never happened. I was joking.
I like where this podcast is going.
God, this got nasty in a hurry.
Oh. You got to be smart about it, Paul. I mean, were you out in the middle of the living room?
No.
Yeah.
That actually never happened. But that would be awful, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, that would.
As a parent, I've never experienced that walking in as a
Have your
child.
kids ever came in and saw some whoopee going on?
No, that's never happened either.
I've had two experiences.
Oh.
So the first experience was kind of innocent, but Preston was around 14, 15, and it was his birthday, so he had a bunch of friends over. And so my Tara and I went in the bedroom, and we were watching TV in there, and she had been drinking a little bit. So, she was just kind of doing a little dance into the music because the music was playing. So Preston, even though the door was locked, decided he was going to manhandle the door and open it.
Oh.
He walks in, and he's got 15 kids behind him.
All teenage
Coming
boys.
in there. Preston sees us. His eyes get like three. They're huge. And he stops. He says, "Everybody out downstairs now!"
Was she naked or anything like that? Or
She
just writhing?
She had her bra on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be traumatizing as a son.
Yeah.
To see that.
Dude, the door was locked. Why do you want to?
Oh, yeah, it's not on you guys. That was 100% on Preston.
Yeah. Life lessons, man. We need a little song about that. Life lessons.
Yes.
So not to do.
Has he tried it again since then?
I don't think. No. He's moved out.
Well, I know. But
we got out ahead of it.
After that day.
When the kids were a little bit older, my wife would just say, your father and I are having sex now, so leave us alone.
Oh.
And they'd be like, "Oh my God,
another 2 minutes.
Seriously."
I
And
gotta
we
be
say, if the door,
unattended.
and so we were just very upfront. She was like, "If the door's ever closed, I wouldn't recommend opening it." And they were like, "Oh my God!" And then one time, I think Brody was knocking on the door or something, and Dylan yells, "The door's closed, Brody! Leave him alone!"
Learned lessons.
Yeah.
I know, right?
yes.
Get out ahead of it. That's my recommendation.
Yeah, I never walked in on my parents. Thank God.
Yeah, seriously, that'd be awful.
I don't know who it would scar more, the child or the parent.
Oh, the child, for sure.
Probably.
Huh.
I would be pretty scarred.
I don't know.
I've never. Have you walked in on your parents?
No.
Oh, God.
Not that I can remember.
Everyone
Out
imagine.
Damn it, Terry.
That's about Hank Hill more.
Yes.
Now back that ass up.
Oh,
Oh, God.
Damn it, Terry.
shit.
Don't give me money this time. You make me feel like a prostitute.
Oh my God! Shut up and make me a turkey sandwich. All right, this is out of control.
Yes,
So,
I went sideways quick.
out of
the
some crazy things. I've got an example of how you have something that happens in the news, and people start speculating and how something can spin into something it's not. I mean, it's from the dawn of time, the way they spin shit.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the young kid up in northwest of the United States in front of the Indian guy. And you remember how the kid was tormented through CNN?
The Covington Catholic kid.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was Washington,
Nick
D.C.
Sandman.
Maybe it's Washington, D.C. I thought it was
DC.
Washington.
His
but
name
maybe
was Nick Sandman.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily talking about that, but it's just how crazy a story can get to where the antithesis is actually the truth.
Yeah, because you're not being given all the facts. Right?
So this
That's
past
like every
week,
day.
Well,
there
they
was
jumped
an
they pressed jumps
F-35 where a Lightning II F-35 was taken off. It was in the Carolinas somewhere.
Yes.
And the captain or the fighter pilot had to eject, and the plane had just kept going. But the weird thing is that they had turned off the responders, or what is the little
Transponder.
the
Transponder.
transponders
Right.
was not active, so they didn't know where the damn plane went. So now all of a sudden the report happens that the plane is missing. Oh, and the transponder's not working.
And this is the world's most expensive aircraft, by the way.
Yeah. And then you get these guys on the internet. It's like they take this information, they eat it, and they regurgitate something and like, hey, I said back in Cuba, there was the F-35C landing out there in the south part of Cuba where the Chinese people are. You know, it's like,
Right.
where does that story come from?
He made it
making up
up.
shit.
He's making shit up.
But still, it
And
gets
then, of
out
course,
there.
it grows legs, right?
Oh, and then the news is
And
like, well,
then-
that is very possible. It could have happened. I think it possibly did happen. By the way, Donald Trump sucks and is a criminal going to jail.
Yeah, it's his fault.
Really? Where did that come from?
Right.
Why they got to throw that shit in there?
So
You know, because if it weren't for climate change, it would have never happened.
God bless.
That's true.
But
That's
that-
true.
but that's true, right?
No, just
So what what happened with the aircraft? Did they found it crashed somewhere, or I forget?
They found it 80 miles away. I don't know the exact details of where they found it and everything, but they found it about 80 miles away. It had just traveled, coasted or something, hit the side of a mountain. They said they found a trail of F-35.
of debris.
Yeah.
F-35.
It just
Is it
you
F
know,
or X?
F.
It's
Okay.
F. I'm sure at one point it was X. I think X are experimental planes.
Right.
Oh,
Chuck
nice.
Yeager.
Like the X-15.
XR-71.
The X-wing.
Yes, there you
There
go.
we
He
go.
shoots, he scores.
Oh my
It's experimental.
So that's experimental in Star Wars.
Oh yeah. The X-wing. The Y-wing was left after the X, so you know.
Ah,
Why?
Yeah, and the X eventually.
I miss Star Wars. I have not seen it in so long, and I mean any of them. And I know you guys watched all the TV shows and Mandalorian, and I fell off so long ago because I didn't have Disney. But
Well, just
I know
think
I
of
have-
all that stuff you can now watch.
I know.
Ah,
we
there's-
can't. We've
My
already
wife-
seen it all.
But my
There's-
wife's not really into it. I just need to get her.
Well, don't you have your own?
We watch everything together. It's kind of like a thing we do. You know?
I mean, that's cute, but at the end of the day, you're just kind of really.
That's cute, but it's stupid, Paul.
Well, I mean, you both have different likes. Some people may like vanilla. Some people may like chocolate, like strawberry. I mean, you can't.
No, I
Come
hear
on,
you.
it doesn't
I hear you.
always fit in the box. You got to have pull time.
Yeah, well, that's on a motorcycle.
That's
Oh.
football Sundays and
Oh, that's hidden in the bathroom.
Football
no one's
Saturdays.
watching. Your parents don't walk in. Your kids don't walk in.
No, that's not that.
Is that pull time?
It is football.
It's pool time.
I think
Oh.
I think it is motorcycle time and football time. On
Right.
my
well, it needs to be Star Wars time too.
but you're right. Everybody needs their time, right?
Yeah, well, I personally really enjoy watching Star Wars stuff, as I've said on many podcasts. Both my brother and I, who is sitting here, Mr. Ryan, we both are we're both.
I would say
Star
you're
Wars
all
fags,
in.
man.
You're all in on Star.
All
Wars.
in.
Yeah, and you know what? The story is just
it should be
not-
66.
Even the
instead of-
shitty ones are good.
yeah, even the
It should
shitty
be
ones. It doesn't
66
matter.
instead of 77.
No, it's not execute order 66.
Yes.
But it came out in 77.
Well, I know, but
I see where you're going with that.
May
So he's
4th.
wearing a Star Wars jersey for you non-video podcasters out there.
but you got stormtroopers, so it should be 66. Is what I'm saying.
True. But these are the new Stormtroopers, not the Clone Wars.
Oh,
So the
okay.
Clone Troopers followed Order 66. The
Correct.
Stormtroopers are the 501st.
There you go.
Wow. Yeah. I don't know any of that.
Well, if you watched Star Wars, you would.
So that is episode. That's not Battle of the Clones. That is 4, 5, 6. 6?
It's 3.
No, it's episode 3. Episode 3. Revenge of the Sith is when Order 66 is given.
Okay. All right. Episode 3.
Man, I am really thirsty. That beer tastes really good. And this bourbon is fantastic. I'm going to say this is probably one of the better bourbons that I've had in quite some time.
We've had some really good ones lately. So
Yeah, I know. I'm
keep that in
saying,
mind.
this one is palatable. It's super sweet. I don't taste any. It's not rich in oil. It's not rich in leather. It doesn't have that rye twinge. That kind of like, yeah, that's good. It's like you're tasting the oak barrel. It's got a really
good.
well-rounded taste, man. It's almost fruity. It's not a bouquet.
And what are we drinking, Mr. Producer?
Yeah.
Are you going to pull it up on the monitor? Well, it's Pinhook. It's actually a collaboration with Still Austin. What they told us, and Total Wine got a total of 1 bottle of this stuff.
We may need to check the HDMI cable.
All right, here we
The
go.
Thank you,
Pinhook
Austin.
Collaboration Series, 2022 Collaboration Series. And like I said, we're at Total Wine, and our buddies there recommended. They really didn't know much about it, but they only got 1 bottle of it.
They literally got 1 bottle delivered to the store.
Right.
And so we got it.
Yep.
It's 118.9 proof.
Holy.
Yep. So it says for the series' second release, which is this one, I believe, Pinhook has partnered with Garrett Oliver, brewmaster of Brooklyn Brewery and the 2014 James Beard Award winner, to produce an artfully structured, high-proof, high-rye bourbon. And from what the guy said, this is the whiskey is they sourced it from Still Austin, which is in Austin, Texas. So it's aged 4 years, but aging 4 years in Texas is different than aging in 4 years in Kentucky.
Yeah, more extreme.
What I'm about to say is going to sound really shitty.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
All right, so prepare yourself. This special collaboration will fund 20 scholarships in brewing and distilling to people of color.
Come on.
All right.
You know, I'm bothered by that.
It should be anybody who applies
I mean, why?
and shows
why?
merit.
Why? I don't get it.
I don't get it either. But you know,
I mean, what is wrong with me? Is there something wrong with me? I grew up just as bad as those guys did. I mean, what the hell? And what kind of color are they talking? I mean, we're all kinds of color. Technically, I'm color. I'm white.
Right.
That's a color in the spectrum of life.
Not in their eyes.
I think that's just wrong.
I agree. It should be we have 20
You know, if we
scholarships
said
open
something
for
like
everybody.
that, and
Open
we were
for
only given to
everybody.
white people, it would be we would be crucified.
Of course.
It really, really bothers me. I really enjoyed this bourbon. I'm happy they did a fantastic job, but I am not a fan of that.
Yeah, it should be open to anybody, right? And it should be based on merit. That's what we've always said about all of these types of issues, right? But interesting. Okay, well, it's still a very good bourbon.
Live and learn.
And when they
yeah.
say high rye, what percentage?
20%
Oh,
rye.
there it is. I'm looking at it right there.
So it's
20%.
75 corn, 20 rye, and 5 malted barley. Proof is pretty stout, 118.9, but it doesn't go down that way.
No, it doesn't. It's great. It's really, really good.
I'm not used to drinking bourbon, and if I have any more of this, I'm going to have a second release myself.
Yeah, it packs a punch.
No,
Yeah,
just you don't have to drink the whole thing. And really,
You can go add some water to it if you like.
my,
That'll help.
No, it's fine.
yeah, really. I mean, that's all they do. A lot of folks don't know this, but this is pretty strong, 100, almost 19 proof.
Yes, very much so.
At the distilleries, when they want to bring it down to 100 proof, 80 proof, 90 proof, whatever, all they do is add water.
That's it.
That's it. So you're not going to offend anybody if you want to dumb it down a little bit.
No, it's good. It's good.
I love the rich flavor.
It's a little spicy for me. It does have a little bit of vanilla taste to it, but I'm getting some spiciness. I like peppery.
There you
There's
go.
a little bit. That's the rye. There's a little bit on the finish, I think. Up front, it's sweet. Very
My.
tasty. Very tasty. I think I'll give this about a 7.5.
Yeah, I would definitely go with that.
Not as good as the Elijah Craig's or the Stag last week.
I'll give
But
it.
this is good.
I'll give it an 8.2. I'm giving the strong numbers, man.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm going to change that. I'm going to give it an 8.5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm really digging this. This is a solid, fruity,
It is good.
high rye bourbon, and it's well endorsed. Pinhook
I wonder
straight bourbon whiskey.
how does the
4 years.
distribution work where Total Wine, which is a big mover, right, high volume
Right.
mover, gets 1 bottle? Is it what is that?
Well, you have distilleries kind of like 1845 Distillery in Lowry Crossing, Texas. 1845. They have X amount of bottles available, and that's how they do it. They're just like, man, we've got 5,000 bottles. Well, how many liquor stores are there in the state of Texas? How many liquor stores are there in the United States? Who's going to get that? Who's going to get those 5,000 bottles?
Well, it's like it's like the Dogfish 120. 120. If you go to like the liquor store, if you're lucky, you'll find a single 4-pack.
Right.
Yeah. And then good luck getting another one within the next few weeks.
Right.
Yeah, even if you request it, they're only getting like one a month or one every 2 weeks. So
it's kind of like Eagle Rare.
Right.
You know? They're just it's a rare commodity. That's what it is. But I agree with you. I mean, they probably don't have deep pockets. 1845, they have a huge advantage because they've owned some things prior, like
Yeah, they had a brewery.
Old Marlin. Yeah, the brewery. What was it? The Old Marlin.
No, it's Port Aransas.
Port Aransas. Oh, that's right. Their neon sign
was a Marlin.
Was a Marlin. That's
correct.
Right. But it was kind of cool though. But we had a conversation. We went up to 1845. Both Jeff and I did, and we picked up a bottle, fantastic bottle.
Yeah, Paul was gallivanting again.
I was dove hunting, which I have never done before.
Oh, awesome! I love dove hunting.
I have not
gone dove hunting in like
before we jump in that.
Years.
I'm going to do the shout out to 1845 Distillery Company. We picked up a bottle of Preemption Finest Quality Single Barrel. It was bought from barrel number 84. It was for 38 months, and it was 117.6 proof. So it was a bourbon whiskey. What kind was it?
Now, hold on, is that a bottle we've had before?
They had one left.
No, they had one left. I felt so privileged. June was there. She's the bourbon. I mean, right next to Marsha Milam. She's like one of the bourbon women that are well respected in the industry. She tells her son or the gentleman behind the bar, it's all family run, right? Go and get that bottle. We only have one left, and he pulls it out of this big freaking safe in front of us.
Really?
Oh man! And Jeff and I were kind of like,
so I missed exactly what it is. So it's cast strength. It's not single barrel. It's a cast strength.
It was, I don't know. Is it single barrel or is it cast strength? I thought it was single barrel.
It's single barrel.
Single barrel. 84. Barrel 84.
Barrel 84.
Of not weeded, not
just straight bourbon.
Not 4 grain, just straight bourbon. All right.
Yeah.
Well, where is that bottle?
It's in my armoire.
What the hell? You didn't get it for podcast?
Well, I'll tell you what. If you want to split it, we can do that.
What the hell?
Yeah, we should add it. We'll discuss.
All right.
Put it in your fancy collection bottle out there. What do you call that?
Oh, hold on. I just no.
What? So how did you
I
let
am
that
never
happen, Jeff?
getting rid of that bottle.
How did you let that happen? He just
There's only one left. He bought it. It was
so
fine.
he just like started like knocking shit over. That's mine.
He did. He was doing some high kicks.
Sean, smash! Give me bottle!
I took my nuts out, put it on the bar.
Jimmy! I'm Sean, bottle mine.
It's like, can you please put that furry thing away? I will give you the bottle.
Yeah, little Monchichi.
Crazy.
So getting back.
What's wrong with the left one? It looks like a dried peanut in the shell.
It's a weeble wobble.
So getting back to Paul's adventure this past weekend, he did go squabbing into, I don't even know where the hell you went.
Yeah, I
Looked
went
pretty
to,
though.
You went with Rob, who's been on our
Texas.
podcast.
Breckenridge, Texas.
Breckenridge.
Yeah, one of our loyal listeners, Scott.
Which is
his
where?
Boss,
Which Breckenridge?
Breckenridge is due west, so it's about 2.5 hours west of Frisco.
All right.
So, yeah, his boss has a ranch out there, and beautiful ranch, beautiful house. But he's got it all set up for. They love to host. They host like the fire department and the police department of North Richland Hills because that's actually where their home is. They love to have people out, so they have these little housing units set up with rooms, and they have a maid that comes out, and I mean it's amazing. It's amazing.
Oh.
And so, yeah, they have
They got Hubbard Creek Lake out there.
They have
fishing.
We did. There wasn't a lake anywhere nearby. I mean, that I know of, but I'm sure there was.
Right
north of
outside
there.
city limits, there's a huge lake.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we weren't on a lake or anything like that, but he's got like, I don't know, 500 to 800 to 1,000 acres or something like that.
Holy shnikes.
That's awesome.
Oh, it's amazing. And they had skeet going, and his wife was cooking all weekend for everybody, and he's got this amazing bunker underneath
Like carnitas and
underground. this game room, man cave bunker underground. I mean, we've got a pool table and a bar and TVs, and it's a sweet.
We should ask him how much.
I would like to go to there.
Right.
Ask him how much he wants to sell it for.
Right.
We can go in.
Yeah, and so we did dove hunting.
I'll Venmo you.
We went boar hunting. Check this. This is crazy. It was like a special forces covert op. There are 3 different mules, right? Those not boonduggies, dune buggies. What do you call them? They're mules where the four-wheeler. I don't know what to call them. They exaggerated golf carts, right?
Correct.
But there's a name for them. I can never think of them, but they call them mules. Anyway, so we had 3 of them, all packed with people, right? And on each car, and each cart, one person was a spotter with night vision goggles, or night vision binoculars.
So this was at nighttime.
Pitch black, nighttime. All right? So 3 spotters in all 3 cars, and everybody's wearing headsets so we can all communicate with each other.
They're like, to the left.
Yeah, it was like, I think I see some movement at 3 o'clock.
Were you guys shooting from the carts?
Well, if we had seen something. But,
okay.
I mean, but we saw rabbits, we saw deer, but we didn't see any boars
okay.
or hogs or
You didn't
whatever.
see an F-35, did you?
No.
So I'm thinking the driver had night vision as well, I guess, right?
I had to have.
Was he driving lights out?
Struggle was real.
Well, they had maybe green light. They had green light to show, right in front of the mules.
That's wild, though.
But dude, I'm telling you, when I took the binoculars away from my face, right, I could not see my hand in front of my face. It was pitch black.
Right.
And then when I'm looking through those binoculars, it's the whole place is lit up like a Christmas tree.
Right.
Especially things that are alive. I mean, they were bright white.
Is that the first time you ever gone hog hunting?
Yes, and the first time I've ever looked at night vision binoculars. It was incredible. It was incredible.
Well, that's how they caught Lauren Boebert getting felt up.
What?
You know what? I saw a
They caught
smidget
her?
of that. What was that all about?
What
I
are
saw
you
that. I was like,
talking
what the
about?
hell is that? No, she evidently went
That's
hunting.
a good time.
She went hunting, and they had some sort of camera on her, and I guess there was an instructor, or
No, she was.
This is how you shouldered the rifle. First, I grab your left breast.
She was at a musical, Beetlejuice, and she was with a date, and they were sitting there in the crowd, and boy, he was getting handsy with her, and they had like night vision
I would
cameras
too, man.
and
She's
videoed it.
I heard about her getting kicked out of there
That's
because she was laughing and being boisterous and
oh
being,
yeah. Well, there's video of
She's
it.
like, no, stop.
And he was like reaching in there and all kinds of
no.
stuff.
I
Oh
didn't hear
yes.
anything about this.
Oh yes.
it tickles.
Now I do know that she is going through a divorce. She's going through a divorce, or she is divorced.
I don't know.
Yeah, so I heard that. So obviously that explains why she's there with a date. But oh wow, that's crazy. Anyway,
Yeah.
it was an amazing time at the ranch, and you can imagine there was tons of beer, bourbon. I mean, it was great. It was great. It was really, really fun.
How'd you like the
Sounds
dove
relaxing.
Oh, the dove hunting was amazing. So first off, so I have a 12 gauge, right? And I had never shot it outside of a couple shots at a range. Okay. And so, there's this old guy that his name is George. He's awesome, and he kind of maintains the place, right? I think he's a listener too. He's a cool dude, and so he drives us out there, and he kind of knows where everything is, right? You guys want to be here, you want to be there. All right, you sit down there, you sit down there, and so we ringed this big field, right? And I'm thinking, aren't we all kind of shooting at each other? Well, and it turns out it's not atypical to get, I guess they call it peppered.
Yes,
right?
I've been peppered.
Right, so when somebody's shooting over the field, I mean, it's just harmlessly falling on you. It's not like it's going to hurt or anything. As long as they're not too close.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we were pretty far apart.
It's not painless, but it's not painful.
Right. And so we were pretty far apart. So, anyway, it was amazing because they were like, Paul, coming your way. Steve, turn around. Rob, over there. I mean, we all like looking up. It's like anti-aircraft fire. I mean,
well, the thing that a lot of people don't understand when it comes to dove is dove fly fast. They fly at 60 miles an hour.
Oh, my God.
So by the time you see them cresting and they're coming towards you, you need to be like in front of them.
Right. Lead them. You got to lead them. You got to lead them.
Yeah. When I first, I think I went dove hunting for the first time back when I was like 20. And we used to, this is when I lived in El Paso, and it was like a weekend, like every weekend thing. And we would go down to the Rio Grande by the Bridge of Americas, and there's a levee that is in between like the U.S. and Mexico.
Okay.
And we would drive all the way down this levee to where there was like a national park, and you couldn't shoot inside of the preserve. Like basically it was a preserve.
Right.
But the minute they flew out of there and passed over the canal,
you could fire away.
You could fire away. And there would be people lined up with their backs with the Rio Grande behind them. And then just like as the sun's coming up, they start flying. And because it's all farm out there, they're all full of corn. It was crazy.
Yes.
But when I first started going, I had like a New England 20 gauge break breech shotgun.
Yeah.
And everybody else had like awesome shotguns, but I just barely started.
Sure.
And I used to hold like the shells in my teeth and then just like boom, and then like over the shoulder and just boom, boom. And then, when you have a break breech, you got to get really good. Otherwise,
right.
It's a lot of difference between using that and a pump action or a gas powered,
Right.
But it was fun. It was fun. And yeah, you got really good. Like I was like, shit, that went by fast. They're like, yeah, 60 miles an hour. You need to shoot faster.
And it was so crazy. I think I shot 30 shells and I hit 2.
Oh,
I mean, that tells you.
No, that's.
I was a horrible shot. It was absolutely horrible.
You actually killed 2 doves?
Yeah, I got 2 of them.
Did you get to eat them?
Did you eat them?
So we collected all the doves, and
it was enough for one person.
No, I think we got maybe 15, 20.
Oh, that's a good amount. Well, it depends on how many people.
Wait, I mean, there's 4 of us.
There's
500
500
people. 15's all right.
Yeah,
they
so
get like 2, 3 of each.
So Steve is going to prepare them, and he's gonna, wrap them with.
Were they bacon wrapped with jalapenos?
Yeah. Put Cajun,
a little bit of cream cheese in the middle.
All that kind of stuff, and he's gonna smoke it. So we'll see when that happens. But it was funny.
Do you just eat the whole thing?
You'll probably get them like I'll get my bison or my
just
my
bones
elk,
and all?
my
Yeah.
elk steak.
Pretty much.
But it was funny because I shot one right over the field, and Scott was like, "You got him," and Rob's all like, "Yeah," and so they're like, "Go get it," and so I went out there, and it was kind of not flopping around, but it was alive.
Yeah.
It was like, "Well, you got to break its neck." I was like, "Oh, damn it!" Here we go.
Just shoot it.
Boom! Bam! Blown to pieces. There's nothing left of it, guys. No, but I did. I picked it up, and it was like, "Hi, what's wrong?" And I was like, "Okay, I need to break its neck, huh?" I mean, I was.
Did they show you how to do that, or you just kind of ring it around?
Yeah, I was standing out in the
did
field by
it.
myself.
Like
and
some Neanderthal, he just dug his teeth into it.
I just went rat, and it was still moving. I did it harder until it wasn't moving anymore.
For those people listening, this is another reason why we don't have video cameras right now. You would have seen the way he was muscling down.
Oh, dude, I got to tell you, like, I got a similar story, man. Like, the first time I went duck hunting, like, we had taken a friend out there who had never been hunting before. This is after we'd been, like, dove hunting for a while. And my friend, he's not with us anymore, but he shot a duck, and it was like his first time he ever shot it. But he winged him, and the duck went down and was kind of waddling around on the ground and everything.
Awful.
And he like freaked the fuck out, and he was like screaming, and his eyes were watering. He's like, "Kill him, kill him!" I was like, "Bro, you need to kill him. You'll break his neck." And this duck had like the strongest neck I've ever seen. He's like, "You gotta." He was like, "You've got to do it." And he was just like, and at one point, like, I went over there and I grabbed the duck,
neck lifts,
and I tried to break the duck's neck, and it wouldn't break. And this guy's like grown man, like almost on the verge of tears, like, "You need to kill this duck," and I couldn't break its neck. And so like,
did you got a hatchet?
No. So like, here's the part, because it kind of traumatized me from duck hunting, and so like. Because I couldn't break the deck. I mean, I was doing everything I could. I was like, like you grab it firmly, you spin it, and it usually just breaks. And like I end up having to like choke the duck. And like I'm gonna tell you right now, like you want to talk about trauma, dude. Like first of all, like a duck's neck is only about like 2 inches wide, right? And you can't squeeze it because of its muscles. Okay, so you have to like get your fingertips into where like the esophagus is. It's like, and then like this poor thing is it was like a scene out of American Me. It was just like he's like, "Don't look at me, little puppet," and it was just like this duck turned around at me, and like his death throes was just like.
Yeah, it was like,
and then it died.
Jabba the Hutt when Prince Leia killed him.
My friend looked at me and was just like,
"Oh God,
I am never duck hunting ever again. I'm never hunting anything ever again. I'm so emotionally scarred right now." And I was like, next time, fucking shoot the duck right. Like Jesus Christ.
I'm glad it wasn't anything like that, because that was my fear. Here I am holding it, and it's going, "Ow, ow, ow," and I'm like. But yeah, no, it didn't take long to break the neck. But yeah, that would have been a nightmare.
Yeah, and yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
That's funny, man.
Yeah,
It's terrible.
traumatic and bad.
And it was an amazing experience. So I would love to go dove hunting again. It was a ton of fun.
Yeah, dove hunting is great.
They used to do it right here where Richwoods was, when it was still fields. Now they built up, over here.
Right there in Coit.
On
Yeah,
Coit.
where Coit. Before,
Yeah.
that whole
Yep.
area. I remember when I come to visit Sean, there'd be people lined up
Oh, yeah.
right
You-
down there on the street shooting down.
Oh yeah.
And
You'd
you
hear
know
it.
what's funny? I remember reflecting on that as being like, "Oh my God, how irresponsible! I can't believe those guys are shooting guns." Now that I've done it, I'm like, okay, it's actually no big deal, right? As long as you're not pointing it at the street or anything stupid like that.
Well, and the law is like you have to be in the direction that you're shooting. There can't be the nearest house. I think has to be like a mile away.
oh, I think it's a lot shorter than that.
Yeah,
I don't think
it's
it's
got
a
to be
mile.
shorter.
I don't think it's a mile away. I think it's like 200
Yeah,
yards.
it's been so long. I don't remember because I remember when we were shooting, we would go up and down the levee, and at one point, like the new Tigua Indian Reservation housing area had been built out past Socorro and San Eli, and we couldn't shoot in that direction because that housing area is here. So we had to pull back towards us.
Yeah, no kidding. You're peppering people in their backyard.
Oh yeah, it was
Right.
what a wonderful sun! Ow, it's so hot.
What's happening? Ow!
God.
Yeah. But I remember,
It's like, Jesus Christ.
but that used to be a big thing because a lot of the kids who would hunt with their dads were like, "Yeah, we're going dove hunting today," and it was like a Tuesday or something like that.
Right.
And then you'd hear them shooting,
Yeah, it's crazy.
pop, pop, pop.
And
Yeah.
so Paul, Jeff, and I from the podcast here, we have got our little cans of beer inside of a regular koozie, the Bearded Butcher. Ryan shows up with a 24-ounce Magnum, and it's all stuffed inside a freaking koozie like regular.
It looks
can.
uncomfortable over there. It's abnormally sized.
Yeah.
I like the fatter beers.
Yeah, it's kind of like my underwear.
It's very chode. Girth is what I meant. It's very girthy.
Girthy. You like
Yeah.
saying that word.
Well,
All right, here we go.
varied by
Mr. Producer
city.
has pulled up the rules about how far away you have to be from property or from a house when you're shooting when you're dove hunting. Let's see here. You need to have a tract of land at least 10 acres in size.
Well,
Let's
it used to be
10
like that
square
over there.
acres.
50 acres for shotguns, air rifles, BBs. Why are you putting a shotgun in with like air rifles and BB guns?
I know. It's dumb.
Well, that over there used to be a huge field before any of those houses got in there, so it was easily 50 acres.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, whatever. You know what? I just think that this is another. Oh my God, I hate conspiracy theories, man. They're just they're just tightening up the rules on everything, every tiny little thing. It's just like the fact that they categorize the BB guns and the pellet guns to be in the same class as a shotgun. I mean, come on.
Find your workaround.
Hell, I was told that
Find your loophole.
I
that's
was
what-
told that Nerf guns are not legal in Frisco.
Well,
how
Nerf,
stupid would
Nerf,
if that's
but
true?
here's the yes, it is true. But here's the deal on that. The reason why they're not it's because some kids were getting killed
With
because-
Nerf guns.
No, because they were going around aiming Nerf guns at people.
Oh, right.
And they were painting them because regular Nerf guns are all playful. They're toys. They're
Yeah, they're
made
all like
blue.
fluorescent green
Yeah,
and yellow.
green.
well, and they've
yellow.
got the orange cap, right? on the
Yeah.
end.
But what their kids are doing is they're painting them, the real colors, and they
Yeah,
go
it's a dumb
around and they're
idea.
aiming people and they're getting whacked. And so they were like, yeah, sorry for Nerf, but they just got to change gears on some of the products they sell. You
Well,
know,
and
stick
some of
with
these,
footballs.
some of these BB guns are realistic as hell. My son spent a lot of money, his own money, on a fancy BB gun that does the whole like a automatic,
Like an automatic.
and it looks real.
Well, the urban legend about that is, I don't know if it's urban legend or not, and maybe producer can look it up for us, but I think that Nerf actually used to get grants from the federal government to design their toys because it's a part of trying to introduce kids. It's trying to amp them up to join the Army, basically.
Oh wow!
Learn to shoot a gun, learn to shoot different styles of guns, sniper rifles, their rapid-fire rifles, handguns, pistols, shotguns, whatever that they have. And it's kind of a way to be like, hey, man, if you like doing that, join the military.
Well, I don't think that's an effective recruiting strategy. I think drag queens probably is the better
Right.
effective
With
strategy.
Nerf guns?
Yeah.
Yeah,
drag,
Super soakers.
Oh, drag queen.
No,
Jeez.
I mean,
the super soakers.
I'm so wet.
oh God. Oh, I should not have said that.
Jeez. Jeez.
Anyway, I didn't mean to take us there. All right, let's move on to the next
Yeah,
topic.
the super soakers. God bless you. You guys watch. So first of all, football this past week. They've had. First of all, I don't watch a lot of college. God bless. I don't watch a lot of college football.
Oh, college football.
I
So-
prefer college over pros.
Yeah, you do.
I don't. But I'll tell you what. And he's getting a lot of hype over this. But Deion Sanders taking over Colorado.
Oh, it's got so much hype.
Yeah, and you know
and they're
what?
3-0 now.
They
right?
went from nothing, and there's a big story. There's a story behind this. So Deion Sanders wanted a lot of money to go there and to work with Colorado and to rehabilitate the team, and whatever he wanted, they said no. And so he came back and said yes, but A, B, C, D. They said okay, let's do it. So he did it. He's like 5-0 right now. Is that right?
I think
3-0.
3-0. He's won 3-0. They weren't getting any games at all. None. I mean, meaning that they're never on any kind of TV station.
Right.
No one's
They're
putting
always
out
on
there.
TV now.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
first three
and,
are.
and the
Now
story
they're in the mainstream.
and the story behind it is he came in to Colorado and he immediately told the kids, most of you are not going to be here because I'm going to handpick every single person at every single position. So you might as well just go into the transfer portal now. So they started leaving in droves. And then he handpicked. Then he like basically poached players from all over the country to go into the transfer portal, come play for him, and he built it from scratch. And so normally what happens, right? They hire a big name coach, and it takes 3 or 4 years for them to
Turn over.
Yeah, to turn over all the kids that were there and that they're now gone, and they handpicked everybody that they recruited from day one. That's not what he did. He did this transfer portal approach, and apparently it's
Including coaches.
very effective.
You know. Well, hats off to him.
It usually happens with coaches. When new coaching comes in, he brings his own crew.
I think that's great.
Well, coaching, yes, not kids.
Coach, correct.
yeah.
But
well,
he like did the okay.
So they, I mean, it's a big deal, and he's it's successful. It's got me. I don't watch college, so it's got me watching it. Like the game that just happened this past week.
Yeah,
He
Colorado
was
and
down.
Colorado State.
He was down by 2 touchdowns. So, at least 2
It
touchdowns.
was apparently a good game. Yeah. I
Oh,
didn't
it was
watch
a great game. It went on until like after 1 in the morning.
It's two overtimes.
Yeah, I ended up watching the whole thing. Was it 2 overtimes?
It's 2 overtimes.
There it is, 43-35.
Whoa.
Good Lord.
You all right over there?
God.
Better now.
Oh,
I
God
think that
bless.
I feel
sausage.
bad for Jeff if it wafts that way.
Say, is that sausage you ate earlier?
No,
Not
don't
yet.
worry
My
about Jeff.
sausage is right here.
Jeff is quite the barnyard animal himself. I mean, he won't admit it, but he took a dump right over there about an hour ago.
I have to keep up with Sean.
Well, I'll tell you
Yeah,
what,
but anyways,
Colorado
but the-
doesn't have that strong a schedule. I'm looking at the schedule that they have up right now. They play Oregon. They play USC.
Oregon's pretty tight. They're
They
like
play
ranked
Arizona
5th
State,
or 6th.
Stanford, UCLA. I don't. Okay, so maybe
Well,
Oregon's pretty good.
Oregon's good. USC's good.
Okay, well that's good.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm starting to
two
watch
tough games.
a little bit more of the college football, and I've got a little bit of a fever that Jeff has, and I'm going to go ahead and explore it because I got this hype, and I've got this hype with the Colorado games, and it's not that I give a shit about Deion Sanders, but he had a stacked team,
Right?
his own team. In addition to that, did you see who was on the sidelines?
No.
They had Dwayne The Rock out there.
Oh, great.
I mean, you've got coaches like Michael Irving that are showing up and personally coaching the wide receiving core on Deion Sanders' team. I mean, he's got they were
So it's a bunch of obnoxious celebrities.
I don't know, they weren't being obnoxious. They were being pretty cool. And,
I
and you know
know.
what?
I'm
I'll tell you
kidding.
one thing I really appreciated. I didn't see any bullshit out there. No Black Lives Matter bullshit. None of this argumentative stuff. It was clean
divisive
football.
stuff. Yeah.
Yes, and there was some sort of animosity between the two coaches. And Deion Sanders was like, "Don't talk about my mama." You know, and he's like, "Hey, damn, Bobby, don't talk about my mama." I don't know exactly. He's got this weird accent. That wasn't it. That was obviously not it. But
Yeah, I don't think that was.
but he there was some sort of
Well, the coach of Colorado State took a shot at him because he goes, I don't go to press conferences with a hat and glasses on. He didn't say Dion. He didn't say anything. He just took a shot at Deion Sanders because, he's prime time, right? He's
Right.
obnoxious.
Yeah.
He's
I think
wearing
that's
shades
funny,
and, just being over larger than life. But that's been his whole life,
Well,
right?
I'll tell you this. My experience is my oldest, Brandon, played Pee Wee football. And he's the same age as one of Deion's sons, Shiloh, and who's on the team. And Deion had a team, I can't remember, the Tigers or something like that, when Brandon was playing. So Brandon would play him.
Right.
And nothing but respect for the parents. He played clean. He like I said, he didn't say, "Look at me, I'm Deion," or anything like that. We'd scrimmage him
good.
down here in the neighborhood. He was there coaching the kids up and everything like that. And
So he's class act.
he was a class act.
Well, that's good to hear because, you sometimes when you're so far removed from this stuff, you don't know who the people are, really.
No.
And
He-
you make assumptions and judge, and you shouldn't.
Yeah, and the whole team was Shiloh because at the time he was the biggest kid.
Oh, that's always Pee Wee football.
Yeah, so he was the biggest kid, and he
But
was fast.
he has
and-
two. I'm sorry.
Well,
He-
Shiloh, I
he has
think,
two
is the
kids on
oldest
team, right?
son, and I think is the quarterback, Shadur, is a younger son.
Oh, they're both playing for Colorado right now?
Yeah, Shiloh is
Isn't that crazy?
safety, I think, or quarterback.
And,
And
apparently
very
playing well.
effective.
Yeah, the
Oh,
quarterback's
dude,
playing very well.
He caught
Yeah.
one back. He did a pick six.
Yeah, Shiloh did a
He did
pick
two
six.
technically, but one of them got called back.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So anyway, my experience, and I remember we were his team showed up waiting for, this is Pee Wee, right? So we'd play on Saturdays, and his team showed up, and he was standing over there with his team, and we were in the stands, and a kid fell off the stands.
Oh, shit.
I just remember him. I guess he saw it. He ran all the way around the track, picked the kid up, and ran all the way back over to the ambulance.
Like picked him up and carried him to the ambulance.
Correct.
Damn.
Yeah. So
Well, I know he's a huge Christian guy. So that's always a good thing.
I mean, he's over the top, but if you get past that, I think he's trying to do the right thing.
Yeah, but that's good. That's good. Well, and he's certainly getting people, like your point, Sean, he's getting people to watch college football. That's not a bad thing.
He's enticed me, and I've got it kind of hooked. I don't care about I shouldn't say it like that. I don't care. I'm not rooting for Colorado.
No,
but
but you're interested in watching.
Yeah, it really brings up a different level of football because you've got these,
That's
you've got
passionate.
these miracle opportunities for these kids,
Right.
because you've got a lot of great players. None of them, I shouldn't say none of them, most of them aren't NFL ready.
Mm-hmm.
So what that allows is that those people that separate the NFL potential from regular great players is that you see those guys excel.
Right.
And it's not like NFL where some guy breaks away and then he's freaking hunted down and knocked down right away. Well, you're dealing with college. These guys don't have that physical aptitude, or they have the ability or the know-how to attack just like that, because they're all kind of new
Right.
to football.
They're
Well,
young.
I think
They're
that's
young.
the allure. Like, I mean, you know me, I'm not big on sports and everything, but when I do watch football, I'll watch college football with my friends more than I'll watch like NFL. And the reason I have, and I get it kind of from my friends, is they haven't made it yet.
Correct.
So they try harder.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a better game. It's a more heated game.
Yeah.
Like the guys in the NFL, they already have the money. They already have the contract.
And that's-
These kids are all fighting for the contract. They
Yeah.
all
That's changing now.
Yeah.
With NIL.
Whoa, what does that mean?
NIL,
What is that?
I'll let Jeff
name and
explain.
likeness. So now these students are getting paid money.
what?
Yep.
Yes.
It takes away everything you just said.
Yeah, it does.
Wow.
So there's a quarterback who committed to Florida or Florida State was going to get like $3 million in money to go to Florida. And I think he opted out to go somewhere else because someone offered him more money.
Right.
So all these boosters and companies says, hey, go to Louisiana and we'll get you $4 million instead.
Didn't that used to be illegal though back in the day?
They
It used to be
just
NCAA,
changed it.
NCAA, they just changed
Man,
it.
they're changing
And the reason
everything
why they
to
did-
flip the scale.
The reason why they did is because these colleges are making so much
It's
money.
all about the money, man.
They're making so much money off these
As,
kids.
off
these kids.
Well, off of tuition in general.
Well, that too. Oh, that's a racket.
Well,
in
football is
itself.
a moneymaker.
Yeah. Honestly, I got to say, like a lot of like college in general, I think, is a racket.
I agree.
Unless you want to be, unless you have a specific goal.
Oh
in
my
mind.
God, it's a total racket.
Correct.
This
I
is
agree.
as much as they charge, it's absolutely. They are raping the system of the United States.
Well, and they're
School
forcing you to
period.
take classes that aren't even necessary for what you need to learn,
Right.
Because there's
Relevant, sure.
exactly, and it's because there's some teacher out there who like some woke teacher out there that. Like they have 15 kids in the class, and we need 16. So everybody, you have to take this class so we can keep this teacher employed, so we can look more like a more diverse university.
Right.
And it's like you're having to pay all this extra money for
right?
something that you don't even need for your degree.
And they go up and up. The
Like why does a person need to take ceramics if they're going to school to study law?
Well, wait, hold on. Ceramics is a huge. That's a huge class.
We all saw Ghost.
Across the line there,
Kayaking.
Ryan.
I mean, go down to was it? It used to be like Southwest
Ghost.
Texas,
thank you, Paul.
Bobcats down in San Marcos. It's just like I understand you want to be a lawyer, but you got to take kayaking for a semester.
I did water polo.
Did you really?
I did.
naked.
It was nude water
That's
polo.
hot.
Yeah,
No, I was never in
Balls
as
float
good a
water.
shape as I was then.
I mean, when you,
dropping deuces.
Oh, yeah.
when you have, you got to take some
this,
electives, right? They want you, so here's the thing: they want you to have a well-rounded education. They want you to have a well-rounded experience to where you know more about
Yeah,
than
but
just what your
I get it, but that
Sure.
your career's going to be, because a lot of times
that
you
should be
don't end up doing just that,
but
like
it
in your
should be
career.
Right.
Yeah,
But that's the idea.
I agree and I
That's
don't.
the
I don't
idea.
agree and I don't agree, because I'm thinking if you do have a career plan,
Right.
then why the hell do I need to learn about the nectarines? That's kind of weird, but
Gender
I got
studies.
you.
No, I don't think it's quite like that. They're not forcing you to take ceramics. They're not forcing you to take kayaking, that's as far as I know. But they do take, say, you need English, you need some history, you need some art courses.
Yeah, and you need
you got to be able
Culture
to
of
develop
math.
those PowerPoint presentations.
Right. Well,
Statistics.
maybe today.
yeah, you have to have non-major electives,
Correct.
and they're usually pretty a pretty big list
Correct.
of different things that might pique your interest.
Basket weaving.
No.
Like I took nautical archaeology.
Right.
That's great.
All right,
Seriously.
good deal. Did you have to?
How crazy is that, right?
And he could
Not a-
call it
not
a,
a-
How many times have you been out in the open ocean?
No, but the thing is,
Saxton.
but the thing is,
It's a sexton.
but here's the thing: I needed to take an elective, and it sounded fascinating, and it was super cool. Basically, it's the study of shipwrecks and how.
I think that's actually pretty
and,
cool.
Yeah,
That's fun. That's
well,
fun.
and
That's-
how it rewrites history. Like every single time they find a shipwreck where they go in there and they figure out, okay, this is an Egyptian ship and it came from this time period. What the hell does?
like that machine they found in that old ship.
Well,
that's
yeah,
like
the first
hundreds of years
computer.
old.
Oh,
One of the
God.
first
No,
computers.
I shouldn't have gotten Sean started on this.
Crystal skulls.
Hey, you know what? I listened to that episode. You guys jumped on him for that.
You
but
wanted to
there
say
is-
it before I did.
Like anthropologists, man, have been. It's coming out that what anthropologists thought was truth is
Right.
now just up in the air. Like
Right.
if you look at like a lot of the things that anthropologists, like 6,500 years ago, is when anthropologists assumed we started our hunter and gatherer societies, and then that's when society started. And now we're finding out it could be as far back as like 11,000, 12,000, 15,000 years ago, and that around 6,500 years ago or prior to that is when we had the Younger Dryas effect, when we were just pelted with comets that destroyed like
All the crops.
90% of the life on Earth.
Oh wow.
And then we had to grow back from the beginning of civilizations, and the argument for that is like if you look at like structures like in Turkey, they have these immense cities in Turkey that are
They're
built
buried.
under the mountain.
Correct.
That are like, and it's not like they can house like 50 or 100 people. They house like 30,000 people per city, and then they have these tunnels that link the city that goes 10 kilometers. How difficult was it to build these cities under these mountains, let alone a tunnel that goes 10 kilometers, if these cities are older than like 6,000 years old?
Right.
And
Right.
what tools did they do it with? And now they're finding artifacts that they don't know how they were machined, like holes drilled in solid rock where they're counting the striations and they're going, wait a minute, the striations and the drill marks and these things. We don't have a drill today that makes those striations. How the hell did they do it 6,000 years ago?
I go back to, we go to this conversation that says, I think we are presumptive to say those people back then were not smart enough to figure things out.
Oh, they were
Maybe
smart.
that technology was lost, and we haven't figured out how to do it again.
100%. I think, and this is just my opinion, based on a lot of stuff. So people like, well, if civilizations were that advanced and they lived that long ago, then why don't we have any evidence that they like any kind of like ancient computers and stuff like that? Well, if you think about it, what do we do nowadays? Everything is like, all of our information is either on paper and books or it's in the cloud. It's digital now.
Right.
And so once the civilization is gone, how do you access the cloud if there's nothing to access it with?
Correct.
So you have tons of information that we don't know, because maybe they were, I personally think maybe they were more advanced. There's a story like Graham Hancock has, which he's an investigative journalist that kind of got into archaeology, and he was talking about, like, if you look at the Sphinx, he took pictures of the Sphinx in Egypt, and he sent out these pictures to a bunch of geologists, and he said, tell me what kind of erosion this is, and he sent them multiple pictures.
Yeah.
And some of the geologists were like, well, this is definitely wind and sand erosion, and other geologists came back and said, well, this is definitely water erosion. What are these pictures of? And he says, it's the Sphinx. And so from like midway down on the Sphinx,
Robert
it's all
Schoch,
water erosion. That means that at some point that Sphinx was underwater at
Right.
least like, what, 20 feet?
Well, you know, God flooded the earth. Remember?
Absolutely.
Noah's Ark.
Yeah, and well, you know, and we find these things like you were talking about, like the civilization that was lost in the Amazon. They have a new technology now called LiDAR, light refracting radar, and they can see through foliage with it.
Right.
And they now know that the Amazon jungle was cultivated. It was like they had orchards. Like a lot of the trees that are in the Amazon that you can find nowhere else on the planet, they were planted in orchards. And they found, like, and it's all throughout like South and Central America. They found a huge, they call it, I think, the Monkey City in Honduras that they didn't know existed.
Is that where they got the theme, the movie Congo from?
No, because that would be in Africa. But
the concept.
but yeah, possibly. But like the Mayan temples, you know, they found like or the Aztec temples, I'm sorry, in Mexico, they went over them with light refracting radar and found like 6 other pyramids that were around there they didn't even know existed because they're buried.
Right. Underground.
You know,
Right.
It's just like, without this technology, it's like, where did all these, you know, like if we were hunter and gatherers 6,500 years ago, how did they make that shit?
Right. I hear you.
Yeah, I think it goes back even further than that.
Right?
They're unveiling or unearthing, like in Turkey, you had mentioned, there are 25,000, they said it was 25,000 to 50,000 years old. Some of these people that this dude went out in this backyard in Turkey, there's this thing coming out of the ground. He's like, hey, what is that? Start digging it up, and then get deeper and deeper, and all of a sudden this colossal stone structure with multiple columns, and on the columns you've got these animals like lizards and what is the dinosaurs and the ones
And
with
dragons.
I say pterodactyl. What is the one's got the little things on the back? The little
A wyvern?
spears. Not
The Triceratops?
it's low to the ground.
Stegosaurus.
Yeah, I think it's Stegosaurus. They are drawing pictures of a Stegosaurus or some dinosaur. I believe it to be one. Let me look and see what Mr. Producer. Yeah, exactly that. So they have like a drawing or a 3D rendering of the Stegosaurus. So it kind of makes you wonder, you know, because nowadays you have like the Gila monster out there. It's a lizard. You're kind of like, you know, if you were to see that, if it didn't exist and you would only see like bones of it or something like that, you'd be like, what the fuck, man? That's old school dinosaur stuff. Well, God bless, it exists now. So what's to say that didn't exist 25,000 years ago?
Absolutely.
Some version of it, yeah.
Well, and then the other thing is, like, a lot of people don't understand, like, so like the Earth's orbit, when we go, you know, around the sun, we pass through a decaying comet. A lot of people don't understand this. There's a huge comet up there. NASA's aware of it. They take pictures of it all the time. They know that there's planet killers up there. They have debris up there that's over 1 kilometer wide. They have some that's up to like 3 and 4 kilometers wide. They know this for a fact. And we go through the orbit. We go through the decaying comet twice a year. We go through it in, I believe it's July, August, and then we go through it between October and November. And that is the time where the Earth sees the majority of meteor showers
Right.
that comes in. And you're talking about civilizations going back like 50,000 years. They knew about it back then because they were constantly pelted with debris.
Right.
And you would think like if it was a small debris meteor, then they're like, okay, we need to figure out how to take shelter from these things. So you start building underground. And, and then you also have to take it, like, what was it? It's I want to say, oh man, I can't remember the name of the comet that hit about 5,000 years ago, but it was one of the last big ones, and I think it was. It eludes me right now at this moment. I'm kind of embarrassed.
But you raise a great point though, because they had the time to study their world.
Yes,
they studied the sky. They studied. They recorded that they went through this tale twice a year. They knew it was coming.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And they had to prepare for it because it was bad last time.
Yes.
Right? And they knew the
Comet Atlas.
I mean, think about how they were able to come up with the lunar calendar, and they could predict to like hundreds of years later how things were going to line up, how the planets were going to line up. They didn't know they were planets, but they were. You know what I mean? But they just
absolutely. And even in modern times, we kind of do the same thing, and we forget about it because we give it simple names like Farmer's Almanac.
Right.
It's actually Atlas. That was the comet you were referring to.
No, it was called something else. I don't want to say
Halley's Comet.
The Bebop comet.
Bebop.
Is that the one, the Heaven's Gate?
But the crazy
comet?
thing is like as far as like the fauna in North America used to have lions. North America used to have like the furry, the woolly rhino.
Well, it used to be Pangea, one huge continent.
Yeah. But I mean that was even further back. That was probably like hundreds of thousands, if not million years further back.
Right.
But once the continents separated, like, did you know like all horses started in North America, and then they extended out throughout the rest of the world, and then when the last comets hit, it wiped out almost all the fauna in North America, including all the horses. And then horses weren't reintroduced into North America until the Spanish came over and brought horses.
Right.
But horses started in North America, and then were all killed off. And if it weren't for them, through herding and migration of animals going to other countries, they would all be wiped out.
Domestication. Yeah.
It's interesting the concept of being able to timestamp all that stuff, because they're finding bones and they're putting a timestamp to that, and they're like, well, these pre-existed the ones we found in Bangladesh.
The bone guy in Alaska. Yeah. Have you heard about him? The boneyard in Alaska?
Tusk guy?
Mammoth tusk. He's got like 10,000 mammoth tusks.
Yeah.
He started a bone rush in New York. So this gold miner in Alaska, he purchased this plot of land, and on the plot of land, there was a facility. They were selling stuff to like the New York museums. They were selling like stuff all over the world, right? And he found paperwork to where they had sold like thousands of bones to New York. Yes, that guy. He's amazing. And he went on Joe Rogan's show, and he goes, I'm going to start a modern day bone rush. He goes, I know exactly. So what happened was like this museum in New York that had all these bones that were sent to it back in like the 1920s. The museum ran out of room in their basement, so they dumped the bones in the harbor. They loaded up these trucks with all of these prehistoric bones, and they went down to the harbor, and they just dumped them right off the dock into the water. And he knew exactly where they dumped them because he had the paperwork for them.
Yeah.
And he went on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he gave the exact street. He's like, it's the dock that ends on this street. And the next day, people from like all over the world were going to New York, and he started a bone rush. And they were going in there, and they were finding stuff. Like these divers were going down there, and they were finding like mammoth tusks and pieces of like saber-toothed tigers and like all this crazy stuff that was just dropped into the harbor down there. It was crazy. The craziest thing about this guy and the land he owns is all of these bones come out of about, I think it's less than 4 acres.
Oh, weird.
And he's finding like whole intact. He's found defrosted mammoths.
Wow.
He's found like they pressure wash the tundra, the permafrost, and they bring these bones out. He's found like intact like short-nosed bears. If you're not familiar with the short-nosed bears, they used to be up in the Bering Strait. They were twice as big as a polar bear. And if you saw that shit coming at you, you were dead.
Yeah, you panicked.
You were dead. But he has found also to shit. He has found birds up there. Like look at that picture up there. Look how big that bear is based on the bones that they found.
Yeah, that'd be
like
scary.
I would shit myself to death before that bear had a chance to eat me. But
Wow.
it's crazy the amount of fauna debris that he's found in there.
I wonder why it would be all crammed in such a small area. That makes no sense.
I think it has to do with a cataclysm because he says a lot of it's charred, and so like if there's a cataclysm like a meteor strike or something like that, and all of the animals are running in one direction and then they get channeled. Maybe it was like a glacier,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like a
Right.
canyon, and they all wound up.
So
in
you
this
had this
canyon.
big
They all got
fire or
stuffed in there.
something just chasing them, and they just ran in
Exactly.
there.
That's
Well,
what I think.
It's kind of like at the base of a cliff,
Exactly.
Like
right?
the lemmings, they just
Yeah.
followed it.
Yeah,
and
and they find like just stacks and stacks and stacks of bones, right?
But it's just wild. Yeah,
That is
how much
fast.
stuff.
It
So
is
what did they end
fascinating.
up taking? Where did they take all those bones that they found?
He keeps them, dude. He
Well,
has
hold on.
so
he,
many.
So he said that there's the bones. When you get the bones out, I'm taking them.
He keeps them all. He sells some of them.
But I'm not talking about the ones
he's
he found
saying
in
about
Alaska.
the ones recovered.
Yeah,
Yeah,
from the
in
Smithsonian.
the water.
When,
Oh yeah, well I mean they're in the harbor. They're free. They're like
Free to go?
Nobody owes us.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's
Yeah,
that's you dive in there, you
Yeah, it's
find
amazing.
it, you keep it.
John Reeves had mentioned on the Joe Rogan show, because I watched that whole podcast, and he had mentioned he's like, man, I'm going on. He had made a statement saying he didn't want to go on any other show.
Yeah.
No news, no nothing. He says, you know what? I'm going on the Joe Rogan show and only the Joe Rogan show to talk about this.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to talk to me about it, I'll talk to you about it. And he just started talking about all the different animals that he has out in his freaking Alaska. It was just, think
Does he have
about
like a
He has,
showroom in a
he
museum?
has
Why?
animals that anthropologists didn't even know existed. He has he found feathers, like bright blue feathers, and people are going, there's no bright blue birds up there. There's
Right.
never been any bright blue birds up there. Where did you tell? He's like, well, I've got a ton of feathers.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool. So
It's crazy.
what are those velociraptors that they were supposedly or potentially,
Chickens.
large chickens? I mean, think about that.
Yeah, chickens are the last of the dinosaurs. A lot of people don't realize that. Like chickens are the evolution of dinosaurs. Things either get bigger or they get smaller.
Right.
Has to do with the amount of oxygen in the air, right? The ratio.
I would assume so. Usually, like the size of an animal has to do with their lung capacity.
Interesting.
Or penis size.
I was going to go with penis as well.
Yeah.
Especially
And-
if you're hey, dude, if you're a walrus,
off guard.
if you're a walrus, bro, you've got it made. You know the walrus penis bone is so big that Inuits use it as a battle club.
The walrus
Can you
penis
imagine being
bone.
beaten to death with the walrus dick?
Dad, you've been dicked.
I think the largest is the blue whale.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
Yeah.
The walrus
If we're gonna talk
penis
about the
bone.
I don't think they're as available.
The
though.
largest mammal penises on the planet.
a blue whale penis, please.
So, Mr. Producer, pull up walrus penis bone.
Oh,
here we
why?
go.
Yeah,
Why
let's
would
do
we
it.
do that?
It's a
7 foot
bone.
2 inches.
Because it's going to give like your
It's just give you a complex.
Yeah.
he
Okay,
puts on there.
okay.
No,
I love it. Our producer has declined the request,
the search engine for
You
your
don't have-
laptop is going to be
and,
fantastic.
Yes.
and I agree with that answer.
You don't have to put
Mr. Producer.
nude.
This is a family show.
this is gonna populate on the Dudes Like Us account. You know, we're gonna
School laptop.
Those boys are searching
I'll tell
for
you
blue
what.
whale dicks.
Hey, you got your laptop.
I'm not, dude. That,
No, we're not
last time
looking
I
up-
searched with something with blue in it, someone made me pull up a blue waffle. I'm
No.
not doing that shit again.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus
we're not
Christ.
looking at. We're not looking up
Walrus-
any
walrus
penis
penis
related
bone.
things.
That was you. You told me to look up. Hey, look up blue waffle. Son of a bitch. I am.
Yes.
Yeah,
I-
you did. You did.
I
lure
tell you
him
what.
into that.
I was stunned because stunted or scarred for life. It's kind of like this guy that in Australia.
There it
Oh,
is,
God.
Sean.
Oh, great.
There's the walrus
So,
penis
yeah,
bone.
He
Oh, it's not that bad.
Dude, it's about the size of the guy's arm up to his shoulder.
that's gross.
Hello.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, he did it.
Oh, look at that. That is.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So, well, hold on. Now, is that erect or is that flaccid?
Well, check it out, man. He's even got a loop on there, like a billy club.
Looks like a
he's got a
bat.
little leather
It's just in
strap
case you
that
smack
goes
somebody
in
so
there.
hard with that dick it falls out of your hand.
Dude.
I want to get one of those for the car. Just for like
Get yourself a Jimmy
defense.
Club. We call this one the Dickie Club. It's called the Dickie. You want to get smacked by the Dickie?
Jeez, they call them baculums.
But
Baculums.
but
Walrus
seriously,
baculum.
can you imagine if that's how your life ended in like battle? Like I was clubbed to death by a whale.
Hold
dick.
on,
Or by a walrus dick.
Mr. Producer, please, you got to go over to the dude with the blue shirt on.
Yeah,
He-
what is that? Fossilized
He's-
walrus baculum. That thing?
baculum.
Holy shit.
That is
That's like
a winner.
5 feet
It
long.
looks like a horn.
That
or an
walrus was a stud.
It's curved like mine.
Yeah. Well, that. Yeah, but his goes up. Yours probably goes to the right.
Well, then you have this one.
Alright.
Then you have someone searched. Why don't men have penis bones?
You know, I think humans are the only species that doesn't have one.
Really?
Yeah, I think pretty much every
Do
other
monkeys have
fauna.
Monkeys?
bones?
I don't know about primates, but I mean, I think almost all fauna has like a penis bone.
Well, that would
That's
help
crazy.
with ED, wouldn't it?
Erectile dysfunction?
Yeah.
Even when you're flaccid, you're ready.
Right. If there's a bone in there, that
just go
Would
for
it
it.
stab you from the inside?
It's basically a sit and spin. Just go. I'll just wait.
Oh, boy. Okay. I'm so glad we got on that topic.
Yeah. Sorry.
Penis
Sorry.
bones?
Yeah. I wonder who brought that one up,
Jeez.
Jeff.
No, Ryan did.
Whatever.
That wasn't.
Hey, does an Architeuthis have a penis?
A what?
An Architeuthis?
I don't know what an architeuthis
That's
is.
the giant squid.
Yeah, those little
Yeah,
squids that
oh,
come out of the
we don't
water and
either.
crack a boat in half.
Jesus. That is an architeuthis.
Yeah, the giant squid.
Yeah, those super large ones. Those sea pirates or those sea captains we'll talk about in the stories in the 1600s, 1500s, where this big Architeuthis comes out and grabs a ship up and cracks it in half and sinks it.
Do you know they're more intelligent than dogs?
Squids?
Yeah.
Oh.
They hunt in packs. They communicate through their skin. The what do they call it?
That fluorescent light.
Yeah,
stuff.
they strobe and they communicate through changing the colors of their skin. Like has to do with some kind
Well,
of photos.
the Humboldt
think-
squid is very aggressive. They hunt in packs.
Yeah, is that the one off the coast of California?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are very dangerous.
And they have like a spiked suction cup, like
Yep.
it has teeth on it. Yeah, I saw like an interview with a diver that got attacked by it,
That's
and
the
they
Humboldt
tried to pull
squid.
it down, and he managed to get away.
Yeah, they'll come up, and they're big too.
Yeah,
And
anthropologists believe that squids and whales actually teamed up to build the pyramids.
because they have thumbs.
Really?
Oh, wait. They don't have thumbs.
No opposable
Opposable thumbs.
Oh.
Debunked.
Never mind.
You can still flush a toilet.
Yeah.
Well, you know
You
what?
just can't build it.
The
Yeah.
Architeuthis could be the source of the gray skulls. Oh, I'm sorry, the crystal skulls.
Yes.
Did they have skulls? Those Architeuthis?
No.
No, they're
They're-
invertebrates.
Invertebrates. Yeah. That doesn't mean they didn't swallow an alien one from outer space.
Yeah, look how big that Humboldt is.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Humboldt.
Yeah, the Humboldt.
H-U-M.
And they attack you. They're
Hey,
very
you go to
aggressive.
both
Well, I
size
mean,
T.
like that's how big it is compared to that silhouette of the diver down there. And imagine a pack of them
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
they're
that-
pack hunters.
That would be scary.
You're
coming at
fucked.
you with those beaks.
You're
Well, I mean,
fucked. Seriously.
hold on.
Your food.
As a scuba diver, sure. But if you're in a boat,
I mean, look at that. What if you saw you just jumped in and like, uh-oh.
uh-oh.
I'd rather
So
jump
we're
into a
looking
pack
at
of
the
sharks.
the
And-
BBC.
hold on, and what do they
hundreds
do?
of Humboldt squid.
They hook
hunt
onto
fish
you.
in the sea. There's
And they pull you down?
They
there's
eat
literally
you.
probably about 40
They do.
on
They
the
pull you
string.
down. They're smart enough to know to drown you.
Oh, wow.
That's
I mean,
what that
but-
diver
but
was
you-
saying.
but
That
you-
diver said it kept grabbing. They were swarmed on him, and they kept trying to pull him down, and he kept trying to swim up, and then finally he got away.
Wow. With his thumbs.
I don't know. Was
He
it
po-
like
he
that
poked-
South
he-
Park episode? Oh no, I'm gonna put my thumb in its ass.
Yeah.
Oh no!
I was thinking eye, but
Not
maybe they don't have eyes.
Yeah,
That's
look at that suction cup. That's crazy. It doesn't just suck onto you. It like bites into
Yeah.
you.
And there's some fish that
kinda
like
like a-
turn.
When you pull it off, it takes chunks out of you.
But there are
It's like
fish.
a plumbing shark.
Yeah,
bite.
there are fish that have that type of mouth, and then they sit there and
Yeah,
That's a type of
and
shark.
they rotate.
That's a type of shark that has that. It'll bite into it and rotate and pull out corks of
yeah. What do you
meat.
call those? What do you call those?
My
drill
penis
bits?
does that
Those
sometimes.
drill bits where you cut out a core and you bring it out.
Core drill bit.
Yeah, that's what
No.
they call them. Core drill bit shark.
Core drill bit shark.
Well, it's called core drilling. Is with they cut out a big old circle.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, I
a
mean, that's
core.
how they, core samples.
Yeah.
That's how they figure out,
It's
like,
a core bit.
yeah.
They got large ones too. They got deep ones. There's all kinds. They got some that go through like 4-foot concrete walls that are 6 inches in diameter, even bigger.
Yeah.
And yet the ancients had better ones.
Isn't that crazy?
Go fucking figure.
Isn't that crazy? Where you could sit at something similar as Stonehenge, and how they, like you had mentioned, where they have the holes through the stones, where you could sit there and during a certain time of year when it comes time, we gotta wait because it's not lined up yet. As soon as that the star shines through this one, and that one, we can go ahead and harvest our crops.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then the fact that they came, like, I think, like the stones they got from so Stonehenge, I think, is in the Salisbury Plains. But the stones themselves come 300 miles away. I think it's in Wales. So it's like, can you imagine like moving those stones back then 300 miles?
Well, they would obviously do it with like vibration. They'd have like a marching band of these large walrus penises, and they would be
roll, you bastards,
with a violin.
They just hit the ground.
Cross. What is the bow that they pull across the violin? They'd be strumming these walrus penises, and the vibration would make the bricks like those big old stones. They would like float.
I don't see it.
Well, you know, I just read an article. You may be able to find it. Is now they are trying to change history and say Stonehenge was built by
Racist?
maybe by black people.
Oh, racist then.
Oh, well, I guess so. Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's a.
Are they?
Well, I'll tell you what. Like, there's a theory that like North America, black people were all throughout North America hundreds of years before the Native Americans. That's where the Olmecs came from. Like they look up Olmecs, Mr. Producer.
Yeah,
How do you spell that?
Old mix?
Olmecs. There you go. Olmecs.
Oh,
now look at these statues. They find these all throughout Central America. Look at the features on them. That's not Latin.
Huh.
Those features aren't of Latin descent.
They all look the same.
Yeah, they look strong Asian,
No,
African.
They look African. So
Yeah,
there's a theory that
Middle Eastern even.
North America was at one point populated by black people, and I've actually heard.
To me, it looks Indian to me. It looks.
Man, it's so hard to tell. I mean,
there's so many similarities between
there
our-
are.
And I've heard there was a black anthropologist that I saw. I can't remember his name right now on YouTube that was talking about it. He said, yeah, at one point he was like, way before the Native Americans got here, they came across the Bering Strait. He's like, North America was populated with black people, and they think like they disappeared again during the Younger Dryas effect, because the largest meteors that hit during the Younger Dryas effect hit North America. Like out of the entire world, North America got pelted the hardest.
Right.
And they think that's why, like, pretty much, like I said, it was like 95% of life in North America, as far as the fauna goes, went extinct because of that hit. And so it would only make extinct that if there were human beings on the continent, if they didn't have any food to eat, you know what I mean? They would go extinct.
We're seeing pictures of these sculptures, and some of them are ginormous.
Oh,
they're
they're
7/8 buried.
And what's interesting to me is that it all looks like it's the same person. It's not just similar.
Kinda.
It's the same person. So I wonder if it was like some sort of global emperor or some crazy...
Or a god.
Like Genghis Khan.
Or exactly, or maybe what they thought what a god would look like.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Wow.
Now, where were these found? Only in South America?
These are in Central America.
Okay, all right. Well, that makes sense. It's at least a localized area. So yeah, it could have been. It could have been a god.
This is congruent with a lot of different areas. I don't think this is just Central America. I think they.
Well,
these specific statues are found in Central America.
Yeah. So to me, that looks like a person.
Absolutely.
Meaning it would have been the king of something, or the emperor, not the emperor, but you know what I mean.
Check out those large earrings.
But, a lot of them are the same photos, just from different angles.
Oh.
Mr. Producer pulled up one of those two side by side, and they were clearly different.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, it is fascinating. There's so much about history. Even
we don't know. We don't know jack shit about
we don't
anything.
know shit about shit.
We don't know shit.
And the arrogance where it's like, and one of the things that really sucks is like, anthropologists that, that have been working in these colleges for like 20, 30, 40 years
Right.
and have been working on this. They argue these new arguments that come up because they're like, no. That's not true. I've been researching this for like 3 decades, 4 decades. That's absolutely not true. Well, and the reason why they're saying it's not true is it has to do with pride.
Well, it invalidates their work.
Exactly. If I was working on something for 30, 40 years and
And
somebody
you were
comes up
wrong.
and has a new theory that could prove yours wrong, of course you're going to say horse shit, and you're gonna say all these negative things about the people that are finding this new stuff and have new theories now.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of the new theories that are coming out kind of disrupts. I'm going to use the word theology. Is that what the study of the Bible or
Religion.
Theology.
Right.
So I think a lot of it disrupts the theory of theology, and then they're like, "Oh, we don't want to touch that. We don't want to touch that. We don't want to touch that. Let's put that in the
that's
forbidden archaeology section and just
feel
go away
that.
with it."
All right.
Wow, that was
Lots of talk.
That went quick.
That was.
It was
good
quick.
stuff.
Ding. Things you
I learned some things tonight.
Yeah. So the highlight I think was the Architeuthis
the bourbon.
penis?
God bless.
I think it was the whale penis bone.
Yeah, the pinfold.
We never actually saw it.
That's a good thing.
I agree.
All right.
we
So
only
let's
saw
yeah,
the
but,
bone. We didn't see the actual one.
but let's recap.
Dehydrated.
Pinhook, 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, very tasty. Very
absolutely.
tasty.
Yep.
Sure.
And I think we have a ton.
Sure.
We have a ton more to talk about. There's so much that's happened in the last week, and we're 3 weeks in a row. So this is great.
I think we're 4 weeks in a row.
4 weeks in a row.
Yes.
All right.
All right, we'll close this out, Paul.
Woohoo!
Thanks to our producer for the first half here. It's September 19th. Fun-packed second episode coming up right after this.
Almost fall.
I've already had 2 beers and 1 drink. That is not normal for me, and I'm already done with this.
Yeah, we'll turn your mic off in the second half.
All right, well, September 19th, Dudes Like Us. Thank you, producer. I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Ryan.